Well, week one didn't necessarily go to plan for the Dallas Cowboys, but this week we switched things up. We're getting the energy back for Cowboys Nation here on Hit Sticks. Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church. I'm Kyle Yeomans. We break down what went right, what went wrong, and we do it using Madden NFL 23. Let's hit it. Madden NFL 23, Hit Sticks here from DallasCowboys.com. From the Globe Life Studios at the Star in Frisco, welcome into Hit Sticks. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 19-3 in week one of the NFL season, and some things just didn't go right for the offense. Dak Prescott did throw an interception, was really held in check, completing less than 50% of his passes. Let's take a look at the interception, though. We're going to break down what went wrong for this man right here, Dak Prescott. Now, pre-snap, you look at really where he's at. You've got this Tampa 2 look from the Tampa Bay defense. Isaiah is going to talk about that in a minute, but he's reading to the right side of the field. If you'll watch his eyes as this unfolds, he's going to look to the right side of the field exclusively. Never actually looks that direction. Prescott rolling out. He does have some pressure off of the edge. That doesn't necessarily help. Oh, and by the way, here comes Shaq Barrett up the middle, and that's not going to help either. So he's looking over the middle. Big hole here for Noah Brown, right? Wrong. Underthrows the ball, and there's two guys there to intercept the football. It just happens to be Antoine Winfield Jr. But as we go to Madden, this is going to look a little similar. Now, we are going to switch things up. Instead of CeeDee Lamb running the fade route, it's going to be Jake Ferguson running the fade route. You do have Noah Brown, and you still have Winfield Jr. playing in the slot with John Davis off to the side. So, Isaiah, against that Tampa 2, it was just a bad read, ultimately, for what really Dak Prescott was trying to put together.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, unfortunately, picked wrong, right? He chose wrong in this Tampa 2 defense versus Tampa. Little cue right there for you, Dak, but it's okay. We live and we learn. But we're going to run through it right here, just show you guys exactly what took place and show you guys what should have happened. All right, BC is going to be my defensive coordinator over there for Tampa Bay, being Todd Bowles.
Yes, indeed.
Let's go ahead and run through it. Boom, here we go. Got him.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Husky. We're going to high step it in there.
It wasn't Antoine Winfield Jr. this time, all right, on the Madden, but the results were the same. And almost the same thing happened had Winfield Jr. not been there. So let's go ahead and run it back one time so you guys can understand what happened and what should have happened. So as we go ahead and snap the ball right here, boom, you guys are going to see it. This Tampa 2 defense. And what you're going to see here is this clearing. Okay, right here in the game, it was CeeDee Lamb that was clearing this thing out. That takes his middle linebacker out of it. We have a whip route. In real life, we had a whip route right here on the inside with Noah Brown. And this time, just here in Madden, we're going to run the out route, very similar, okay, and clearing it out on the outside. Now, what these guys were disguising was a quarters coverage, right, where these guys were making it look like everybody had 1/4 of the field. But Dak did not see that, and there's this trap corner that is sitting right out here on the outside, and that was my man right here,
Carlton Davis.
And he went ahead and snatched that thing up. Obviously, in real life, it was Antoine Winfield Jr. But what should have happened was there's a 2-man side, and there's a side on the backside where Dak should have went to. Because right here, when you're throwing the ball into a trap corner, if you knew it was cover 2, you wouldn't have went this way. Dak would have went all the way to the left side over here. And when you go to the left side, there's a guy by the name of Dalton Schultz that happens to be sitting right here on a little curl route. It was perfect right here. That's where Dak should have went. Unfortunate that he did not identify the coverage, and made the wrong read, and he had to pay for it.
Yeah, and Todd Bowles, he did an amazing job last week at just disguising everything, giving multiple looks at Dak Prescott, whether it was blitz, whether it was fire zone, whether they backed off in zone coverage. And right here was another example right here. As you alluded to, Isaiah, they gave him that cover 4 look. The trap corner, Carlton Davis, did an outstanding job of getting hands on one to make it seem like he was going with Dennis Houston here up the field, but he did not. Just got a quick hands on him, got his vision back on the quarterback. Great play by Carlton Davis to get the interception. In real life, he was tackled, but in this one, we took it to the house because DCBC, that's all I know how to do. I know how to do is pick sixes. That's all I know how to do.
DCBC Barry Church has done that a couple different times throughout his career, the actual pick six. Hopefully that doesn't happen again this week. But it won't be Dak Prescott throwing the football. It'll be Cooper Rush. How could the Cowboys help out their backup quarterback to be successful against Cincinnati?
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys, and by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's the job of the backup. You got to go in, you got to make things click as if, four was in there. And we'll draw on that experience last year big time. Get my feet wet last year and getting out there tonight. We'll regroup as a team and a group on offense, and we'll be all right.
So no Dak Prescott heading into week number 2 as Cooper Rush takes over as the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and it kind of creates a singular problem, and that's how do you get this offense going? They weren't successful against the Buccaneers even prior to Dak Prescott's injury. So Isaiah Stanback, former quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. You played nearly everything except for running back, but what's the biggest way to help Cooper Rush out here this week against Cincinnati?
Well, put me in the game, Coach KY. I am going to be Cooper Rush right here, and the best way to give him some assistance, run the ball.
Run that down?
Run the ball. Do exactly what you did last week, but you just didn't do it enough, okay? But Dallas Cowboys were averaging 5 yards on the ground with Mr. Freaky Zeke, number 21, Ezekiel Elliott last week. Now, had they been more persistent, they would have probably put themselves in a better position to win the ball game.
I agree.
So against the Cincinnati Bengals, in order to help number 10, you want to get the ground game going. That's going to alleviate a ton of pressure off of him. It's going to not allow for him to have to throw the ball 40-plus times like he did against the Minnesota Vikings last year. Let's go ahead and keep it to about 25 passes, and let's go ahead and go about 30 times on the ground.
Sounds like a good formula to me. Well, DCBC, I'm going to tell you exactly what Cincinnati's going to do. They're going to realize that, look, outside of CeeDee Lamb, I don't think any of these wide receivers can beat man-to-man, consistently at least. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to stack the box. I'm bringing everybody inside. The D tackles, the defensive ends, the linebackers. We are stacking that box and making y'all prove to us that y'all can consistently run the ball and consistently beat man-to-man coverage on the outside. I don't think y'all able to do that. DCBC, we bringing the thunder today, man. Good luck, Zeke.
All right, here we go.
Ooh,
okay, so he had
opportunity. He had a chance.
He had a chance, so that's one way of going about it. Just simply lining up in the 12 personnel like we saw a lot this past week, right, when Zeke was very successful. They were able to come downhill, get 5.2 yards per carry, and just mix things up that way.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to change the look up, okay? Now you have two different ways of going about it. You could take a receiver and go motion across if you want to see what kind of movement you might get in that front, or you can simply take your tight end. All right, if you take your tight end, now obviously you'll be taking him away from the strength of the offense, okay? But that's okay. You want to kind of have a little smoke in the air. So I'm going to take Ferguson right here, take him across, and usually what that does is get the linebackers to kind of shift over the top a little bit, okay? When you get that shift right there, now you gain a little bit of leverage on the play side. Boom. Let's see if that helps. Okay. Ooh. All right. So you see him. Zeke was trying to look for a hole, but you guys see here. Let's go back to the replay. Some of the things that the slight little differences, okay? As soon as Ferguson comes over in that motion, you see that those linebackers shift over the top, right? And the defensive line usually goes to an underset, so going backside, the linebackers shift over the top so that they have leverage in their eyes to make sure that they can always field the run. You see here, boom, snapping the ball. Martin comes off. You get a good job with Martin and Biadasz going right up here. These guys are able to work up to this next level, okay? Now what you're looking for from Zeke is to be able to hit that seam right there, right? But Farniak on the backside, okay? The young fella has to get in there now because of who's gone? Connor McGovern.
Exactly.
Okay? So if he can find a way to hold his block on the backside, you might have some better luck. But you see Zeke right here just looking for an opportunity. All right, hopefully there's a lot more seams coming up this week than there is on this play.
So Ezekiel Elliott unable to hit the hole there, but Cowboys going to try and establish the ground game. So will Cincinnati. Joe Mixon was used quite a bit in their Week 1 loss against Pittsburgh. When we come back, we preview the Cincy offense here on Hit Sticks.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back here with more Hit Sticks from the Star in Frisco. Kyle Yeoman's back with you. And I've also got some more Madden Ultimate Team content for you to check out on Madden NFL 23. Starting off with Kevontae Turpin. He's a member of the Team of the Week in Madden Ultimate Team, which means he's got an elevated overall score. He's a playmaker, 90 overall. If you can get this card from the Team of the Week, it's because of his performance against the Los Angeles Chargers. And then as a part of the Ultimate Kickoff event, Anthony Barr, it's an event that's kind of celebrating players in new places. Of course, now playing for the Dallas Cowboys after a long career with the Minnesota Vikings. He's now listed as a run stopper, and they're going to need him to perform this week because the Cowboys going up against Joe Mixon and that Cincinnati offense. Isaiah, Barry, I mean, you got to find a way to slow down the ground game before you can even worry about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Without a doubt. And this is going to be a tough matchup for this Cowboys defense. We saw last week what happened. Leonard Fournette, he went off on us with over 100 yards rushing. Defensively, we have got to figure out a way to stop the run. I think that's the only Achilles heel to this defense so far this year has been the running game. And when you talk about Joe Mixon and the Cincinnati Bengals, they come downhill with it. And Joe Mixon is an explosive back. And to me, what I saw in our run defense last week, there was just too much catching out there. Too much catching on the second level. Linemen were getting up there. Van Der Esch, Parsons, they couldn't really get off blocks, and we saw the result of it. So this week, we're going to go ahead and come downhill with the linebackers. I don't care who it is, Van Der Esch, Parsons, Cox, whoever it may be in the game, we have got to come downhill and let these guys know on the Cincinnati offensive line that we are not playing any games out here. We're coming downhill. We're putting chin straps down. We're smacking everybody out there. And it starts today, and it starts on Madden right now. Let's go. Let's go, Isaiah.
Smacking. I got Joe Mixon back here.
Oh, young Mixon? Okay, here we go.
Show you what these
we coming downhill.
Oh, got a little motion there. Where you going? In the ocean.
Come on, Van Der Esch. Get downhill, Van Der Esch.
There it is.
You know what? We'll take that. We'll take that. But let's run it back one more time because I wasn't satisfied with what Van Der Esch did in that situation. Okay. He did another catch technique type deal. We don't want that. We want to come downhill. So let's run it back one more time.
Okay, I'm going to leave the motion off for this time. Let's see what we got.
Come on, Van Der Esch. Get off there.
Let's go. We got action. We got action. And that's exactly what you were just talking about. You can't be on the receiving end of this guy coming downhill. Show me a little something.
You can't be like that. And I'm going to show you exactly what happened right here. You see the difference right here as we go up. We're going to go to the linebacking core right here. We're going to go to the second level. We got Van Der Esch right there. We got Parsons on the other side as well. Look at the difference right here. Just look at the difference in Parsons right there. Bang. On a snap, he's coming downhill. Van Der Esch is still sitting still. He gives Collins an opportunity to get to the second level. And just like last week, those guys cannot get off of the blocks. It creates a long run, 5-6 yards. We do not want that because that makes third down manageable. And we do not want to see that. We have got to get downhill as a linebacking core. This was not a good display of how to stop the run. And if we go out there in Cincinnati this week, it's going to be another long night for this Cowboys defense. We have got to come downhill as a linebacking core.
So not only do you have Joe Burrow in the backfield and Joe Mixon, but you've got Jamar Chase on the outside. The weapons are abundant for Cincinnati. And this Dallas defense, if they can't stop the run, well, how are they going to stop the pass? We'll hit it next when we come back with more Hit Sticks from the Star. Back here on Hit Sticks, Kyle Yeomans with Isaiah Stanback and Barry Church. Let's take a look at the deep ball ability of the Cincinnati Bengals offense. Joe Burrow last week, he threw it 53 times. He had a couple touchdown passes, but he had a career-high 5 turnovers. Barry, if this Cowboys defense is going to have any kind of success against the Bengals, they're going to have to try and force them into some turnovers again.
They're going to have to, and I'm telling you right now, I'm nervous. I'm biting my nails right now because I'm nervous. They have an extremely explosive passing attack. When you talk about Jamar Chase, Boyd, Higgins, even Mixon coming out of the backfield, I mean, these guys are loaded, and they present a lot of mismatched nightmares out there. But I looked at what Pittsburgh did, Isaiah. I looked and I saw what that defense did. They forced 4 interceptions out there, and a lot what they were doing was fire zones. And for those who don't know what a fire zone is, that's when you blitz a couple players, but instead of playing man-to-man behind your blitz, you play a little zone behind it. And I saw what Pittsburgh was able to do, talk Joe Burrow into a lot of interceptions there last week. So that's what we're going to bring to this table right now. We're going to blitz a couple cats out here, try to confuse Joe Burrow, and see if our defense behind in the secondary can keep everything in front of them, because that's what we do not want. We do not want Chase, Boyd, Higgins to get behind this secondary and cause big plays because we know Joe Burrow has the arm strength to do it. So what we're going to do here, run a fire zone, try to get under his skin, and try to create some takeaways.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're nervous like Precious. These guys got a lot of weapons, and Dallas Cowboys Nation needs to be concerned because what these guys present, not only 3 really good receivers, but you mentioned Mixon's ability to receive out the backfield, and Hayden Hurst, who likes to push the thing down the field as well. All right, so last week they got Burrow on a lot of invert 2, a lot of zones. I don't know if they're going to get him confused on this particular play. Let's see what it looks like.
Okay! Oh! That's what we need to see.
Okay.
That's exactly what we need to see. That was Van Der Esch coming downhill. But just to make sure everything hit on the right way, we're gonna check it out right here, just to make sure everything hit the right way we were supposed to hit.
Okay.
Everything went the right way. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So if you press play a little bit for me, Isaiah, right, going on right here, we see Van Der Esch right there pointing out who he may have, trying to confuse Joe Burrow a little bit in this situation. He's pointing around saying who got who, but we're in a fire zone. And that fire zone means here comes Van Der Esch. But instead of the whole team coming with him, you see how we backed off a lot as well. We got a lot of defenders in the back half of the zone, keeping everything in front of them. We have 2 of our corners on the outside, Anthony Brown, Diggs on the other side, making sure everything stays in front of them. And like you see it right there, we confused that Cincinnati offensive line right there. Van Der Esch was able to get through as well as Odigizua and make a hell of a stop right there. And that's exactly what we're going to need to do.
And one of the things, man, I think we should try it again, Barry. I think you got a little bit lucky on that.
Oh, you think I got lucky?
Yeah, I think
you didn't think there's the confusion anything? Okay, all right, let's run it back then. Let's run it back then.
All right, okay, let you get your little motion in.
See what we got going on.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a little change of rule for you. A little change of rule. Yeah, I'm gonna send my line over here.
Okay. A little unscouted look, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I had to make some alterations there, brother.
Oh! Malik Hooker.
I just didn't have no patience. I had no patience. All right, but real quick, I know you're over here, but I want to show you exactly where these guys are going to try to expose the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
You just mentioned about the zone, okay? But what you have to watch out on the back half of the zone is right here. Right as this guy gets behind, there's a little clear out over here by Jamar Chase, but there's a big window if you allow these guys to cross the formation of the defense and get right into that little honey hole. On this particular play, Burrow didn't have enough loft, but if they give him time, he'll drop that thing in a bucket.
It got to be dangerous. Hopefully this defensive line and these linebackers come downhill, because if Chase has time or Burrow has time, that could be a dangerous situation for the Cowboys defense.
So an interception from Malik Hooker, wrapping up the Madden edition here on Hit Sticks. Now we get to see what Madden thinks about this prediction. It's the guys versus the game. We'll tell you about that, and we'll give a free copy away from Madden NFL 23 when we come back here with more Hit Sticks. Welcome back to Hit Sticks. As every week, we do preview the Dallas Cowboys matchup this week against the Cincinnati Bengals via a Madden NFL 23 simulation. This week, it was Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon combining to take advantage of the Dallas Cowboys defense. 38-15 was the final score. Things were not pretty for the Cowboys as they gave up over 100 yards to Joe Mixon. Joe Burrow had just a nearly 300-yard passing game, and they got off to a really slow start. They had a safety early on from DeMarcus Lawrence, but that was the only score until right up at the end of the second quarter. So 38-15, the Cowboys get the loss, and they would start 0-2 according to Madden NFL 23. Now we get a chance to combat that. Do you think things will be different this week, Isaiah?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unfortunately, I think I don't, just simply because of the fact Cooper Rush, McGovern might be gone. We got some guys that are out. It's going to be hard to overcome this explosive offense that is coming off of a very difficult game.
I'm right there with you. I think with the injuries and with the firepower of a team that's not necessarily happy in the Cincinnati Bengals after losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they're going to have a win here this week against the Cowboys. What do you think, Barry?
Ye of little faith. Come on, Cooper Rush. Let's get the job done. This defense led by Dan Quinn, we're going to be +2 in the takeaway category. Ooh. First dub of the season. Here we go.
Hey, I like it. Okay, so a little bit of help there from Cowboys Nation because of Barry Church. Always keeping the faith. Now, speaking of that, we've got a question from Cowboys Nation. John Williams on Twitter asks us, what's the difference between being too creative or being too cute on offense? Because it's a definite fine line. Kellen Moore having to find that line. What is the definition for you, Isaiah?
I think you just can't get too crazy. I think what we saw in the opening series last week against Tampa Bay was a little bit too cute.
Okay.
And that's just trying to run reverses and things like that before you even figure out what type of defense you're going against. So I think that they need to go out there, be rest assured in the personnel that you have, and then when you find those little nooks and crannies where you can change things up, then get creative.
Kind of feels like you want to simplify things from an offensive standpoint, right?
Without a doubt, man. Find your identity, stick with it. If that's running a football, be downhill with Zeke. If that's passing, let it be known. But do not with this double reverse stuff, all this creativity and this cute stuff. It's not going to work. We got to stick to what we know.
So from a defending standpoint, is it harder for teams that are creative rather than cute? How easy is it to pick up on the cute side of things?
Oh, it's super easy because we know they're getting out of their game.
Okay.
So when it comes to that, you love those cute teams. They like to be more creative. You love that. Instead of guys that know their identity, know they're going to come hit you in the mouth, you love to go against those creative squads.
Just the amount of times that we've used the word cute here in this final segment, I don't think I would have had it I don't think I would have known we were going to say this through the entire season like that. But congratulations to John Williams on your brand new copy of Madden NFL 23. And of course, we thank you for listening. But hey, we've got a big matchup this week. Whether or not they win or lose, we're going to break down how the Dallas Cowboys played next week here on Hit Sticks. And of course, we'll take it into week 3 in that first divisional matchup on the docket. For Isaiah Stanback, for Barry Church, and our entire DallasCowboys.com crew, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Thanks for joining us here on Hit Sticks. Enjoy the week, everybody, and enjoy Madden NFL 23.
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.